Hello, I'm Susana Almanza, your candidate for City Council District 3. I'm a founding member and director of PODER, an environmental social justice organization that has been around for over 25 years. I'm a native of East Austin and a longtime community organizer, educator, mother, and grandmother. Together, we will work to preserve and protect neighborhoods and small businesses' unique character, whereas Sabino Pio Renteria has a legacy of displacing families and destroying neighborhoods. In 1928, the City Council adopted their master plan that forced the relocation of people of color to East Austin. In the 1930s and 40s, people of color bought and built their homes from $2,000 to $8,000. Those properties are now valued from $250,000 and above. How did this happen? In the late 1990s, the City Council decided that it would embark on a neighborhood planning process. One neighborhood from West and East Austin would be chosen. We then began to organize to submit a plan on behalf of East Austin. 5 neighborhoods came together to form the Pueblo Network: Blackshear, Montopolis, Guadalupe, East Cesar Chavez, and Rainy Street. At the deadline for submissions, East Cesar Chavez neighborhood, led by Pio and Lori Renteria, submitted their plan as a separate application. The Pueblo Network didn't know that Pio and Lori Renteria were secretly meeting with city staff and developers and had made a deal. For over a year, neighborhood leaders and residents fought against the East Cesar Chavez plan, stating that it would cause major displacement of longtime residents and gentrify neighborhoods. Pio and Lori Renteria caused the displacement of hundreds of residents, the elderly, students, and families. They supported the first high-priced condos in the East Cesar Chavez neighborhood, while residents protested. Let's move forward to 2015. Councilman Sabino Pio Renteria begins to advocate for high-density development and Code Next, stating that high density meant affordability. Affordable for who? There is no evidence of density creating affordability. Again, Pio has a legacy of displacing residents. Councilman Pio refused to listen to the residents regarding Code Next, so we helped gather the 31,000 signatures to put Code Next on the ballot. Councilman Pio voted against putting a validated petition on the ballot, and we had to take the city to court. The judge ruled that Code Next initiative must be put on the ballot. Democracy won. Code Next didn't respect neighborhood plans, public participation, and would have increased property taxes and rental prices. It would mean more displacement. Where do we go from here? We must vote for Proposition J, which gives residents a choice to approve or disapprove any plan like Code Next at the ballot. Refocus on the most important aspects of land code. Prioritize the needs of current residents and discourage their displacement. Preservation and construction of truly affordable and low-income housing, streamline and update technology of cities' inefficient permitting process, and return the community planning district. Implement the People's Plan, which addresses housing, environment, and equity. Let's stop Pio's legacy of displacement. Pio wanted to give away our public park, Roy Guerrero, to a private for-profit corporation and voted to eliminate numerous bus routes. While I have served on numerous boards and commissions with the City of Austin, what is most important is that I've worked to empower and give voice to the most impacted. I, along with members of PODER, have helped organize numerous neighborhoods groups, worked on numerous grassroots campaigns, and worked to establish policies and ordinances that protect and benefit the people. Together, we can appoint responsible, community-minded individuals to boards and commissions who will bring balance to decision-making policy process and create community committees to serve as advisors on behalf of their neighborhoods. My campaign does not rely on big money. It relies on grassroots support. We support people's interests, not money interests. Together with students, individuals, and families, we can advocate to preserve and expand the supply of low-income and moderate housing, control public land for community development, preserve and grow small businesses and cultural assets, provide income and asset creation by providing needed services such as childcare, access to healthcare, transportation, retail sector, and employment opportunities. Promote a citywide living wage of $15 an hour, protect our public green space and environment, improve our transportation system, work to implement the People's Plan, which addresses housing, environment, and equity, recommendations by the African American, Hispanic, Latino, and Asian American Quality of Life Commission. Let's work together to reclaim, remain, and rebuild our city for people of all incomes. For more information, go to votesusana.com. Thank you.